Hello and welcome back to my channel, Firzj here. In this video I'll be sharing another collection of Diablo 2 Resurrected mods that I recently discovered online. Following the release of the Reign of the Warlock expansion, Diablo 2 Resurrected finally received a significant amount of new content, including a new class, new items, and a variety of quality of life improvements, such as shared stash with dedicated tabs for runes, crafting materials, and other resources. While many players enjoy these additions, others prefer to preserve the original Diablo 2 experience or simply customize certain aspects of the game to better suit their preferences. Although Reign of the Warlock has expanded the game considerably, there are still plenty of opportunities to improve and personalize the Diablo 2 Resurrected experience. Unfortunately, due to technical limitations, D2R doesn't have large-scale total conversion modes like Medium XL as in the original Diablo 2. However, there are still many excellent mods that can enhance the gameplay, reduce frustration, add useful features, or simply make the game feel fresh again. So if you are looking for D2RMM compatible mods that improve various aspects of Diablo 2 Resurrected, then this video is for you. And if you haven't seen my previous mod showcases, be sure to check out my videos where I covered both Mod Manager and MPQ mods, many of which may still work with the latest version of the game. So let's begin with the list. The first one is D2R damage numbers. This mod isn't really a mod in the traditional sense, it's more of a small utility tool designed to make the game more informative. It runs through a separate executable file and works in the background while Diablo 2 Resurrected is running. In short, it is an external overlay that sits on top of the game client. It reads information from the game's memory and displays enemy health, damage numbers, and various combat effects in real time. The tool also supports extensive customization through a configuration file, allowing players to adjust the position of damage indicators, change fonts, modify animations, and customize colors to their liking. That's essentially all it has to offer. Its purpose is simple: to provide additional combat information that the base game doesn't normally display. However, there is one important thing to keep in mind. Since the tool can provide extra information during gameplay, it may offer a gameplay advantage in online play. For that reason, it is not recommended to use it on Blizzard's official servers. Instead, it should be limited to single-player use in order to avoid any potential account penalties or bans. Second mod is Expanded Stash Plus, and its purpose is exactly what the name suggests. If you've spent any significant amount of time playing Diablo 2, then you already know that inventory management can be tedious. Even with the release of the Warlock expansion, there is still a chance to run out of space. Yes, we finally have a dedicated tab and stackable runes, gems, keys and crafting materials, but the countless pieces of gear can still quickly fill up your stash. This mod attempts to solve that problem by expanding the stash with several additional tabs, giving players much more room to organize their collections. It can be a huge quality of life improvement, especially if you enjoy long-term farming, collecting unique items, or experimenting with multiple builds. Moreover, this build doesn't fundamentally change the gameplay, it doesn't alter balance, increase drop rates, or make your character stronger. It just removes one of the most common frustrations associated with item hoarding. Next mod is MercEquip for D2RMM. This one can significantly boost your mercenaries, not to mention the one's favorite from Act 2. Normally your mercenary is limited to just a few equipment slots, but with this mod, mercs gain access to additional gear slots, allowing them to equip rings, amulets, belts, gloves and boots, effectively turning them into fully geared companions. And since they can now equip more items, it opens up a huge number of new possibilities, like creating much more powerful support setups or adding extra damage to deal with difficult elites and bosses. I'm pretty sure this mod would make your character more efficient, since you can choose mercs from other acts and equip them the way you really want it. Basically, if you enjoy theory crafting, this mod will add another layer of customization without fundamentally changing the core gameplay. This mod works well with the Reign of the Warlock expansion through the mod manager. Overall, MercEquip adds enough build variety and customization to make experimenting with mercenary setups much more interesting. And if you've ever wished your Act 2 mercenary could wear something other than just a helmet, armor and weapon, this mod finally makes that possible. Next mod in my list is Runes and Gems on sale. It's a simple but quite practical quality of life mod, especially if you are tired of endlessly farming runes and gems. This mod allows you to buy runes and gems directly from merchants across all acts. Instead of relying purely on RNG, you can now visit key vendors like Akara, Ormus, Jamela and Larzuk and purchase runes and gems. That's pretty much all this mod can do, however it's pretty customizable thanks to the D2R mod manager. You can control which rune tiers appear in shops, ranging from low level runes all the way up to higher end options depending on how you want to balance your progression. The same applies to gems, and you can also apply a 50% price discount to make them more accessible. Basically, if you want a more relaxed experimental playthrough, you can make runes easier to obtain. If you prefer a more traditional feel, you can restrict the selection and keep progression slower. In practice, this mod completely changes how you approach early and mid-game gearing. It also reduces a lot of the frustration that comes from long farming sessions with no meaningful results. And the final mod of this video is Clean Loot Filter. Unlike traditional loot filters that hide items from the ground, this one focuses on making loot much easier to read and identify. Basically, it adds icons for almost every item in the game. Instead of relying just on names, you will immediately recognize what has dropped thanks to small symbols displayed next to the item's label. Plus, specific equipment is especially easy to identify as they now show a dedicated symbol. On top of that, the mod introduces customizable item colors, abbreviated quality prefixes and optional text that indicate whether an item is a normal, exceptional or elite. All these settings can be changed easily inside the mod manager, and in case you haven't seen my guide on how to install the mods with this tool, feel free to check out my video guide here or the ultimate guide on my website. These small visual improvements make it much faster to identify decent items in the large pile of loot, especially during farming sessions where time matters. One thing I really like is that this mod doesn't change the game balance in any way. It doesn't affect drop rates, item generation or loot tables. Everything remains exactly the same, the only difference is how information is presented to the player. And that's all for now. As you can see, just like from my previous showcase videos, these mods don't overhaul the game in any way and only bring quality of life changes. If you decide to try any of these mods, remember that most of them are intended for offline single player. Although it's pretty much safe, I would always back up save files first before installing new mods, and make sure to read the instructions, especially if you are combining multiple mods with D2R mod manager. Let me know in the comments which mod was your favorite and share your opinion or experience. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a nice day and happy farming everyone.